Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, we've got information now coming out of Israel. That's right. U.S. Defense Secretary Jim Mad Dog Mattis says that Syria still has a chemical weapons, and he's telling this while in Tel Aviv. Matter of fact, Syria still possesses chemical weapons, according to the U.S. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis said in Israel on Friday, warning against the banned munitions being used again. At a news conference in Tel Aviv, Mattis also said that in recent days, the Syrian Air Force has dispersed its combat aircraft. The implication is that Syria may be concerned about additional U.S. strikes following the cruise missile attack earlier this month in retaliation for the alleged Syrian use of sarin gas. Now, Jim Mattis, Secretary of Defense, spoke alongside Israel's Defense Minister Lieberman. Quote, there can be no doubt in the international community's mind that Syria has retained chemical weapons in violation of its agreement and its statement that it has removed them all, said Mattis. He said he didn't want to elaborate on the amounts Syria has in order to avoid revealing sources of his intelligence. Quote, I can say authoritatively, they have retained some. It is a violation of the United Nations Security Council resolutions, and it's going to have to be taken up diplomatically, and they would be ill-advised to try to use any of them again. We made that very clear with our strike. Now, Israel's defense officials said this week that Syria still has up to 3 tons of chemical weapons in its possession. It was the first specific intelligence assessment of President Bashar Assad's weapon capabilities since the deadly chemical attack earlier this month. So, okay, we're going to keep a close eye on what's going on, but certainly the Secretary of Defense, Jim Mad Dog Mattis, is in Israel, is meeting with the Israeli Defense Minister and talking chemical weapons in Syria. Of course, they're talking about a whole lot more than that, like Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, the Iranians, the Syrians, and ISIS, and the Russians, all in Syria just over the Golan Heights. So believe me. And then what about moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem? Will President Trump make that announcement next month? I'm just saying, maybe he will, as we approach the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the city of Jerusalem. Jerusalem Day is scheduled to take place late in May. We're living in prophetic times, folks. We're living in times like we've never seen before. Stay with us on this channel. We're going to stay on top of it prophetically. The Middle East, it is God. Listen, Israel is God's prophetic timepiece. The Middle East is in a state of madness as the 3 religions of the apocalypse are converging toward the Temple Mount: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Get some coffee, everybody, calm down, and don't miss today's live broadcast. My guest, Hollywood filmmaker David Heavener, and he is going to be talking about his brand new TV series that's coming out called The Last Evangelist. It is an end-time apocalyptic New World Order type TV series that I think is going to be fascinating right out of the book of Revelation. As he says, it's CSI meets Revelation. All right, we'll see how this all plays out. I'll be back with more in just a moment.